Hello world, it's Big Cook. Today's topic is going to be how to raise your credit score 100 points in 30 days. I want to teach ways to beat the credit algorithm on how they report to get you 100 points in 30 days. If you're that person that have a credit score of 550, I can teach you how to get it to 650 in 30 days. Simple steps. It's going to take a simple discipline for you to do. And also, I want to tell you how your credit score is broken down. It's 5 different groups. So your first group is going to be your payment history, which is 35% of how your FICO score is graded when reporting to the bureau. The second one is the credit utilization, which is 30%. Your third one is length of history, which is 15%. Your fourth one is type of credits that you're having within your credit report. The fifth one is any new credits that you may have. So let's go into the first one. Let's break this down so that the viewers and the listeners can understand that it's 2 categories that make up 65%. That's a lot. 65% of how they rate your credit score. So the first one being payment history. That's you making your payments on time every 30 days. Now, you also need to understand how that credit is reporting back to the bureau. You need to know what date, because you can also beat them. Meaning, if your credit score reports to the bureau on the 5th of every month, if you make a payment on the 1st of that month, you will then make that payment on the 1st, because by the 5th, it'll already be there. Your credit score can jump probably 20 to 25 points. That right there will then give you the full payment of, if you paid it off in full, back to your credit card. So if you wanted to go back on the 6th and make a $300 payment of a $1,000 limit credit card, which is great because that's you utilizing 30%, which credit cards and the credit cards, that's what they want you to maintain, 30%. And if you're below 6%, even better. Your credit score can probably jump 35 to 40 points. And that's only if your credit score already isn't over 750 points. Because the higher your credit score is, the lower points the credit bureau will give you. They don't want to just keep advancing you 20 to 30 to 40 points at a time. All right. So you can also hurt yourself within that payment history if you don't make that payment within that 30 days. So it has to be a complete 30 days. So if you were supposed to report your payment on September 2nd, by October 2nd, and you haven't made that, that is considered a missed payment. Your points will drop. They call it a delinquent payment. As well as you having to pay late fees. You don't want to pay late fees. You're already going to have to pay a late delinquent payment on interest. And then you also, in turn, will have to pay that late fee to that credit company that you're having to pay it to. It can be a bank, it can be a credit card, things of that nature. The second one, your credit utilization. Like I just explained, if you had a $1,000 credit card and you spent 95% of that, meaning you spent $995 of that card, your score will drop. So you don't want to do that. You want to at least maintain $300 maximum on that credit limit. All right? $300 allows you to maintain a 30% credit utilization for that card. If you can keep it under 6%, that would be awesome. Your credit score would jump tremendously in less than 10 days. If that credit score was reporting to the bureau. Length of history. Length of history is very important. I've known people that have had credit scores like myself of 814, and they got rid of their cars and they are now non-resistant to the credit bureau. When you're non-resistant, that means you have to completely start over. Luckily me, I'm doing this video solely to show you how to go from what I have now in my credit history, 618, to over 700 points in 30 days. Simply because I follow these steps, I know how to beat the credit algorithm, but I've also have not used any type of credit in 4 years. So my points of an 812 and an 813, it has dropped down to a 618. So I'm gonna make an update video to this video to show you how I did it in 30 days. If you follow these simple steps. The fourth one, the types of credit that you use. Remember I said it's 10%. So the types of credit that you can possibly use are signature loans, credit cards, installation loans, which are home loans or car payments, things of that nature. If you can maintain those payments on time, like I said, so an average car payment is $535. If you can make that $535 every month, you will maintain that length of credit history. They normally will use 3 years to 15 years as length of credit. So the longer you have that credit card, you want to maintain it. And last but not least, new credit history. New credit history could be anything as a car loan or a signature loan or a bank loan, anything like that. So that car loan that car that you just purchased, that would be considered new credit. It's an installation loan, but it's still a new credit. Another way to beat it is that you can also do what they call an authorized user. Authorized user is nothing more than you going out and asking either your parents that have great credit scores and that are financially stable, have long credit history, to make you an authorized user on their credit history. If they say yes, I recommend to you is to inform them prior to, because there's going to be some questions asked, knowing if they're going to trust you or not. Let them know up front that I do not want the credit card that they mail you. You can take that and shred it. Just let them know that you want to maintain good standings on their credit. That is a great way overnight. If they do that in 2 to 5 business days, your credit score will jump tremendously. Now, once you get your credit score the way you need to be, all you gotta do is say simply, hey, you can remove me, because now you have what they call established credit. Now, for the ones that are really established, I have to put this out there. If you're really established and you're financially stable, credit is actually irrelevant to you. You don't, because you can go in and for that $15,000 to $25,000 or $60,000 car, you can go in and buy that car up front. You can just make a simple wire, or you can bring cash and purchase that vehicle. However the case may be, credit is irrelevant. But it also puts you in the driver's seat that maybe one day you just want to just maintain credit for those times that you want to go be able to make those possible credit loans and say, hey, I like to finance this vehicle. With a great score, your interest rate, your car loan interest rate will be low. I'm talking a 2.5 or 2.35 interest rate. You will also get qualifying home loans of 2.25 or 3.25, which is outstanding, especially if you're putting down at 20 to 30% down on that home. Your home payments and home principal payments for that month will be extremely low. So I just wanted to drop these diamonds on you to show you how I do it. So basically, what I've did is got a $400 credit card. I made one purchase. I'm gonna utilize it every time I get gas. And as soon as it's time for me to make that payment, I'm gonna pay prior to the reporting date for that credit review. Before I leave, I want to just throw some things out there that I haven't brought up yet on how your credit score can be hindered. So hard inquiries. Hard inquiries is when you go into a bank and they deny you at that specific bank, and then you go to another service credit union or another bank and try to apply for a credit loan or a signature loan to borrow money, and they deny you. Both of those are considered as hard inquiries. They will be reported to the credit bureau immediately, probably within 30 minutes to an hour. So your points will drop. It will decrease on the next time, the next 30 days that your credit score will update. Bankruptcies. Those right there will decrease your credit score. And it will last and be on your credit history for at least 8 to 10 years. And also late payments every 30 days. So within your late payments on every 30 days, if you don't make those payments, your credit scores will drop. So that's all I have, and I'll be back for an update on how to rate on my update on how I raised my credit score from a 618 over a 700. And remember, I told you with a 700 credit score, you can get anything you want. Anything. You can apply and get approved for it. Until next time, Big Cook is out, dropping diamonds.